We're going to be covering Taiwan and all sorts of other crazy things going on, so stick around. We'll be right back for this live call-in show right after this. Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect my opinion, Dex's opinion, or anyone else's opinions. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. And with that being said, make sure to get notifications from us. You can go to marfooglenews.com to get push notifications directly to your phone and sign up for our email alerts. With that out of the way, my name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. There is one more thing to remind you. We are going to be covering a lot of news right now, so make sure you can grab a second device and go to our website, marfooglenews.com, and here we back up everything we say with a source. If we do not have a source for it, we make sure to clarify it. And if we incorrectly state something, we make sure to go back and correct it. In fact, if you ever catch us saying something that is purposely misleading or accidentally misleading, let us know and we will fix it. We have not done it to this day without fixing it. There was one about 2 years ago where I said that the first nuke was used since WW2, and somebody, basically the article changed, so then I therefore had to change it as well. So remember, go here, you can click it, it's very easy to navigate, it's by the thumbnail. So once you click on this, you'll see that every single tweet, every single video, every single article that we show you here today, you have access to on our website. Of course, we're going to be talking about a ton of stuff here today. So again, it's easy to keep track if you go to the website. And then on the right, if you want to support us in any other way, again, the PayPal, all of the different ways to support our affiliates are all over there as well. So thank you guys for doing that. And thank you for people who already have supported us. Okay. So there's lots to talk about. Let's get Dex in here. Dex is my co-host / best friend / internet brother. What is going on, Dex? And can we do a sound check?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So obviously, lots to talk about today, and there is some crazy things going on right now. This is going to be kind of a fast transition from some of these things because, oh my gosh, it is absolutely nuts. Thank you guys for being here, though. Thank you all the new people. Jason Berger just subscribed 2 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, Nicholas Rengifo, the Brain Enema FTW, thank you for subscribing. Wayako Adair, thank you so much for subscribing. Frank Dado Potts, I appreciate you. Gasper Portillo, Duke Holst, I thank you as well. Kip Granger, Mr. Walesko. So lots of new subscribers now. Did we hit, by the way, are we at 137,000 or are we still at 136? I'm guessing if we are, it wouldn't even catch up for a day or two. But again, almost going to hit 137. But it's been kind of an up and down roller coaster with that as well because of everything that's going on with the internet. Let's see here. We're going to go over to these articles. I do want to say hi to a couple people. J-Stone, Bones, LCJC family has been popping in lately. Great to have you back. Tons of great people. CJ Blaze, all sorts of folks. Let's see here. So let me just pop this open. And if you are watching the live show or the replay, remember, you can actually access all of this stuff on our website. Thank you already, Kelly2334. Thank you so much for your massive support to this day. Brap King, thank you for following. Welcome to the Foogle fam. Sailing Dogs, Renegade Petey. We've got That Chowky Gal and Menching Chazcat. One that I have not seen the name, but I am just making sure that I remember you. Able Bodied, I hope you're here, and if you're not, I appreciate you showing up so often. That is really, really, really appreciated. Okay, let's talk about Taiwan. So when this thumbnail is on here, again, one thing that I think is something that is, I believe it's almost inevitable, is that Taiwan and China are going to have their run-in. I think this because of everything that has happened so far. Again, I believe Taiwan is going to be invaded at some point, whether that be now or in the next year or in the next 2 years. It seems like that it is going to be sooner than later. Is the big bad U.S. and the big bad allies going to stop China from doing that? I think that there's a whole lot more to this than meets the eye. It says Taiwan issues rare confirmation that U.S. special operators are training on the island. Again, this means that our U.S. special operations are there and they are training on the island. It says the unusual step of announcing the presence of U.S. Marine raiders operating in Taiwan is bound to draw the ire of the mainland. These guys are the badasses of our military, and they are actually doing severe training there. It says Taiwan has provided official confirmation that units from the United States military have been training in Taiwan. It's the latest example of how ongoing U.S.-Taiwanese military relations have increasingly been played out in public amid growing tensions with mainland China. It says U.S. Marine Corps special operators from the Marine Raider Regiment recently began conducting drills on the island. Now, this is after we got official news, that they were doing island hopping exercises. Now, why would they need to be practicing hopping islands unless they were going to either take out islands or be defending on islands? That is one thing that now we can confirm at least Europe, all of these other allies, Australia, have all been participating in as well. It says Taiwan's Naval Command confirmed to Taiwan News on November 9th, 2020, while U.S. forces in Taiwan, this fact is generally not been publicized by either American or Taiwanese officials since 1979. So obviously that is something that, they're doing on purpose. They're making sure out loud and proud that they have the U.S. military there. It says that year the U.S. government officially recognized the communist regime in Beijing as the sole legitimate authority in China and formally severed diplomatic ties with the nationalist government in Taipei. At the same time, the United States has reserved the right to continue supporting Taiwan and its military until there is a final settlement over its status via the mainland. Dex, what do you think about this as far as them publicly coming out and saying this? Obviously, is this saber rattling? Would you call this that? Or is this more like we're ready, let's go? Or what do you think that this is saying?
Well, it's certainly saber rattling when it comes to Taiwan's point of view, right? Like them saying and letting it leak that the U.S. Marines are there, especially at the type of level of operation they're doing from a training perspective. Yeah, it's kind of that's what I think it is. Absolutely. And I think from our point of view, we want to make sure we're showing support, right? So that's our strong position. But I think whoever leaked it out and that they're doing that from a saber rattling point of view.
And it seems like this is only become, now there's so many different things happening all at once that I don't see how people can deny that this is about to happen. Now, one thing that the internet has said over a long time, and there's a good chunk of U.S. citizens that believe at some point that China would try to invade. One thing that I want you guys to think about is how media has been pushing us to hate China. Again, I'm not a China supporter or anything. And again, there's a lot of good reason to not like them. But if they wanted us to support a conflict with China, they would most likely get almost everybody in this hate or red eye kind of thing, just like they did right before we went to the Middle East. In 2001, they repeatedly showed the September event from 2001, and then they attached it to certain things. All of the main medias were doing the same thing, and they were pushing that and then clipped it alongside these countries that they wanted to go in. If you don't remember, they said, there's weapons of mass destructions, there's this, there's that, and then kept attaching that picture. When you see September 11, you get mad. And then when you attach it then to something like, hey, we need to support this, whatever. Then by 2003, I believe it was, we did the Shock and Awe campaign where majority of people supported it. We were red in the eyes. We just wanted, basically people wanted blood. It was really hardcore. We were united in a way. Now we are more divided than ever. Just look at, even if it's legit, if there was no tampering, even if T-Man loses and whatever, this whole situation, it shows you that even if it is what officially has been said, that's 50% of the United States hates 50% of the United States. That's huge. Or not hate, and again, but they completely divided down the middle. We've never seen such a divide. Out of the statistics that came out of this, even if you don't take in any of the stuff that they've been saying over the last few days, they're divided. So we are truly divided right now. So that's why a lot of people think that we're going to go to conflict with ourselves before anybody else. But with Taiwan and China and all of these other things that have been happening, I think we've got a whole kind of big set of distractions. I think we should be looking at this and watching every move that happens here. It says Taiwan's United Daily News had previously reported that the Marine Raiders will be supervising Taiwanese Marines in skills including assault boat and speedboat infiltration. Now, I guess the point here is, so there are some people that think that they would invade us. What about us invading them? What about them now having the largest military, largest navy in the world? And this was just a recent accomplishment for them. Now they are leading by something like 60 or 70 ships. And that is something that they did in a very short time period. And they have not stopped. In fact, they are continually building more and more and more. Now they're building multiple aircraft carriers. They are already the largest navy in the world. They surpassed us in a very short time period. We're talking about a couple years. It went from behind to now in the lead. They are secretly building ships. They are secretly building planes. We covered this. They're grabbing pilots out of middle school. They're grabbing kids and then saying, right when you turn a certain age, you're going to go in. We're going to train you before you even go. They are grabbing people out of flight school and saying, hey, you're a Navy pilot now. There's all sorts of crazy things going on over there, and they're grabbing people out of people. Why do they need so many pilots? They don't even have that many planes. Oh, wait, yes, they do. They've just been secretly building them. They've got jets on top of jets on top of jets. Their specialty is manufacturing. Once they take the plans from, say, our designs, once they've hacked our designs, they have the materials to build almost everything. And then the things that they don't, they'll get from other countries for some of the missiles and things that go along with this high-tech stuff. People think that they are like a third world country, that they don't know how to build things. They know how to build things better than almost anybody in the entire world. I'm not saying that they're better than us. We probably have this crazy technological advantage. We've been listening to everybody in the world for years now. Since Snowden came out, we found out all of this crazy stuff. They not only could access your phone, could access your previous SMSs from 2 years ago. They could, Google your connection to every single person that you know. But on top of that, they could access your cell phone camera, your laptop camera, any camera. They would have a live view of the entire world. That's what X key score was and all of this other stuff. So you think that went away because they got caught? Absolutely not. So that means they're spying on China. China is spying on us. And if you don't think that the China drones that everybody flies, basically all hobbyists, those are flying around DJI and other companies from China. Do you think that those third-party app, it literally sends a signal of what it's seeing in the air? Do you think that those third-party apps don't send it right back to Chinese government? I personally think that's simple. The thing is that signal that goes through of HD quality is going to go right back to they basically have you fill out permission on DJI and every other app that you are letting them have access to that film and that footage and that audio. So we've got hobbyists all around the country, including myself because I've got a DJI, most likely spying for the Chinese government. And things are at its all-time high as far as them. And people want to say, oh, this is fear-mongering or this or that. No, it's a fact. They are setting us up, and what if they want to take them out before they get any stronger? I almost think that it's going to be reverse. Like there's going to be a horrific event that they say they did it, and possibly maybe they didn't even. But then, boom, we go in and we take them out. Who knows? I don't think that they want in 5 years China and Russia to be bigger than us or to be more powerful than us. And it is a possibility. That's what every expert says. Every outside of the government says. What do you guys think, though? I would love to hear your opinion. People have changed my mind before. Again, lots of great people in the chat. We've got Gone Girl, 77777, Lady Mel, Dixie Doe, Gem, Unicorn Force. We stand no chance against our big banker. Priscilla R., great point. Lemon Essence, Release the Quacken. Thank you for gifting subs. Tartan Granny, thank you for being here. Iggy Mom. And then we've got MixPick69. Thank you. XT Sizzle Bean, thank you for following. Welcome to the Foogle fam. And then Pro Science just followed. Thank you for being here and welcome to the fam. PMC 2020, we've got Snowboard, Matrix 45, Lady Green Eyes, Lil Red KS, Scooby Dooby Do Right, and Jazzle. Thank you so much for your support tonight. PMC 2020, thank you for the multiple diamonds. And then Chewy Weather, Big Score Disclosure, or Big D Disclosure, thank you. What do you guys think about this as far as us invading them? Again, our military groups say that something is on the horizon, and it is a conflict that no one will see coming. As far as our military group, and there's a lot of military in this chat right now, they are all saying that people are preparing. They are preparing for something massive. Island drills, Pacific Defender, putting people on the borders, putting people on the coastlines. What the heck is going on? And they are about to do a second round of lockdowns. So, 19 pro-democracy lawmakers resign in Hong Kong's darkest day so far. It says, today, said pro-democracy legislator Fernando Cheung, is definitely the darkest day in Hong Kong so far. Cheung is among 19 lawmakers who announced that they will resign en masse on Thursday to protest the disqualification of 4 fellow pro-democracy legislators. It says on Wednesday, Beijing's top lawmaking body, the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress, or NPCSC, empowered the Hong Kong government to bypass the local judiciary in order to ban any lawmakers deemed unpatriotic. It says, or considered to be conducting themselves in a manner that endangers national security. Now, Dex, we've talked about the social credit score of mainland. As far as this almost sounds like something that would happen in mainland. Oh, I guess this is. So what do you think about this? The whole thing of where they're basically saying, if you don't go along with it, then you are endangering national security. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, yeah, that's certainly what it sounds to me like. Is they're putting the wrapper of national security around anything if they need to that then really enforces at the greatest level that they can enforce something, right?
So, as far as Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam then moved against 4 lawmakers, Alvin Yeung, Dennis Kwok, is that really Kwok? And Kenneth Leung, previously barred from running in the delayed legislative council elections that had been scheduled for September. We could not allow members of a legislative council who have been judged in accordance with the law that they could not fulfill the requirement and prerequisite for serving on the legislative council to continue to operate in the legislative council. So they're basically saying outside of work, if you do something, they're taking people out. They're altering the way that they do their laws, and any kind of democracy that they had, they're altering it by saying, "Oh, you're not acting right." Basically, pretty crazy stuff. And then we have Saudi-led coalition intercepts 2 explosive laden boats deployed by Houthis. It says Saudi state television reported Wednesday evening that 2 explosive-laden boats deployed by the Yemeni Houthi movement had been intercepted in the southern Red Sea. According to the report, the boats were launched from the port of Hidayah. It says, since 2015, Saudi and several allies, including the United States Emirates, have been waging a war in Yemen against the Houthi. It says movements after they threw out Yemeni President Baba Mansour Hadi, an ally of Rahada, and it says claiming his government's rule was unfair towards poorer areas of the country, such as the northern border region from which the Houthis hail. It says the Houthis have established control over much of the country, but the war with the Saudi-led coalition and the Saudi allied militias in the country continues, even as the Houthis have become able to mount deep strikes into Saudi territory, such as one claimed attack in September 2019 that temporarily disabled 2 petroleum facilities in eastern province. We covered that. They said, didn't they say that it was drones at one point? So these are boats laden with explosives. Dex, wasn't the last time it was drones, and now it's boats?
Yeah, that's what I recall was the drones. And yeah, this is definitely, obviously, a much bigger potential payload here, right? Because you can't put as much on a drone. Depends on the type of drone, but yeah.
So this could be a much bigger thing, but it still seems kind of low, low end. These aren't nukes on boats or anything. So it says the conflict has devastated Yemen, killing close to 250,000 Yemenis by the end of 2019. So 250 million. I'm sorry. Yes, 250,000. So 250,000 have died from their conflict. Here we, these are things that aren't even a part of our life. Conflict isn't a part of us in the U.S. We lose 200,000 and they're losing that many in other countries to, conflict. That's one thing that we don't have. So it's very sad, and we're very lucky to be in some of the countries we are. If you're in Europe, if you are in Australia, if you're in the U.S. So lots of bloody stuff all around the country, or around the world. But, of course, we take all of our peace for granted. People think that we're not going to get into another war ever again, and people literally think that, or they're just being optimistic about that. All right, if you guys, I highly recommend you guys do this. Please, if you're not going to support us, go around us and get this. We are now in one of the most stressful and crazy times ever. You guys should be looking into an EMP shield. It protects you against all 3 phases of an EMP, E1, E2, and E3. This is seriously one of the things that I think is going to save people's lives when a solar flare happens. When an EMP, we don't know if an EMP is going to happen. That's an if. It is only a when a solar flare hits big enough to knock our grid. As far as they are trying to protect it right now, including with companies like EMP Shield. In fact, they have been contracted by DHS, DOD, and now the DEMSO team officially protecting the Texas grid. Remember, these are 100% American-made, veteran-owned business. Check them out. It's an awesome company. Andrew and everybody there is just absolutely amazing. They hand make these, and they are awesome. Guaranteed for lightning protection. MarfoogleNews.com/EMP if you want to support the show and protect yourself at the same time. All right, let's see here. We would normally do this. So lately, I'll just be real with you guys. We are not done until we figure out exactly who is going to be in that big white building in D.C. We are going to be doing our show a little bit differently because it is really crazy right now. Like, really crazy. So we're not going to talk about putting things into boxes and all of that for a minute here, at least not here on YouTube. Lots of things going on behind the scenes that you guys don't see. It is absolutely insane. As a viewer, I feel bad for you because every time you type in somebody, they're gone. It's very, very It's really disappointing. It's really sad. And then we've got flying taxi takes off over Seoul in demonstration flight. This is nuts. We've been talking about these taxis flying around all over the place. Would you get in one of these taxis? I'm going to go over to the chat. Would you guys get in one of these taxis, even if it's been tested and all of that? Personally, I would wait until they were out a couple more years. I have never been on a helicopter, like I've said, but this just freaks me out. Apparently, these would be safer than a regular helicopter because most of them, if they have 8 blades or something, apparently 2 of the blades could die. Like they could just totally go out, and then the other 6 blades can basically make up for it and actually keep you up in the sky. Somebody even said that if one goes out or something like that, then you can turn the power to all 4 and then turn off the other ones, and then it does it that way. Some pretty crazy stuff. Machina Opus, thank you so much for your massive support of our channel. Again, we are building a platform right now, and it's just taking up so much of our time. So we really appreciate you guys that support the channel. We really support the OGs, the people that have supported us since the beginning, people that have been here for 3 years, like Able Bodied, all of my mods that have been helping basically every single show. So thank you guys. And then Blue Light 84, so excited to finally catch a live show. Thank you, Marf and Dex, for all you do. Again, thank the mods as well. Lady Mel, Nana Deborah, Kelly2334, thank you as well for your massive support of the channel. You are on the top 5 leaderboard, period. So thank you. Amy R, thank you. I don't know if you've been here lately, but we really do thank you. Cat Jones, N95 Hero, thank you for being on the leaderboard last night or the night before. It says, if it will happen, let's save time and get after it. That's a great point. Thank you, veterans, for your service. I don't know if you guys saw my thank you to veterans today on YouTube stories. Let me know if you see those YouTube stories because lately they've been changing that as well. And then, yes, so for as far as Veterans Day goes, I don't think people realize we take it for granted so much. People have sacrificed their lives, literally sacrificed their lives, so that we could live a somewhat free life. Now, everybody talks about how we don't have any freedoms anymore, but if you've ever been to any other country or third world countries or anything like that, you do realize how much we do have. And it is all thanks to people that have given their life, that have put themselves in danger so the rest of us would not be in danger. As far as we don't have missiles going over our head at all times. You know, that's something like 250,000 Yemenis died in 2019 alone. Think about how many died from missile attacks and things like that here. 0. And that's because of our military. And I do think there's this odd line, especially with police and military and things like this. One, if they don't support the conflict, then they'll say, oh, screw this is bad. But almost everybody supports those people that volunteers. There was a point for the last 10 years where the military was having a hard time recruiting, and that's because the patriotism and that kind of feeling, you go to war for your country, that feeling has gone. People don't want to fight for their country anymore, but we still have those people. And those people, if those people stop, stop being born, these patriotic people, and if we lose patriotism altogether, think about what would happen to our military. Think about the kind of people that go in and never stop. I really think my family, my grandpa, he changed the tides of World War II. He literally went behind enemy lines, set up communications against the Germans, and he changed a battle. So one person could make the entire difference between a battle. He saved thousands of lives by his actions. So there's a lot of things like that happen, and it's like, thank somebody near you, hug a veteran, do something nice for them, go to their house, help them with groceries, give them a ride. If they have problems, a lot of them have drug problems and other things. If you go to the VA, because they've gone through so much trauma, they end up in all sorts of mental anguish for the rest of their lives. Some use, medication or other things to self-medicate. If there's somebody like that you can help or even do a favor for, that is something that I think that people should do every time around this year. So I take it pretty seriously. I volunteer as does my sister. We do different things every Veteran Day. That's why part of reasons why we're doing early show. So I really, that is one of the holidays that I do think is really important. Priscilla R., I don't trust those behind the mill. Behind the mill. Priscilla R., again, I don't blame you. Kay Brooks, what's up, fam? Ape Go Hard, thank you so much. J9 Texas Sunshine, thank you. And then let's see here. Rhiannon S., aloha from Hawaii and happy Veterans Day to all that serve. Be prepped and safe everyone. Crazy times ahead. EOD Vet, thank you. Happy Veterans Day to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for your service. Thank you, EOD Vet. Thomas the Fam, thank you so much for your support. You can always write something there. You know that, though. Harlequin says, Adam and all, please put love in your heart. No room for negative energy if you only have love for each other. Great statement, Harley Quinn. And then we have Mud Fossil Gaia. Thank you for subscribing. Heidi 12. Today's my birthday. Thank you, veterans. That's awesome. Heidi, on your birthday, you are saying thank you to somebody else. That's awesome. Awake Alive, thank you for your support. And then all of the new people that have just joined YouTube, thank you so much. We seriously appreciate it, and we try our hardest to make sure that we provide something for you. As far as these helicopters go, by the way, as these are coming to the United States by, somebody else said 2027. It says in South Korea offered a glimpse of a science fiction future on Wednesday with a demonstration flight of 2-seat drone taxi in Seoul, as the government outlined ambitious plans to commercialize urban air travel by 2025. This goes into the point I was making yesterday as far as our air is going to change. You're going to see drones delivering. You're going to see drones bringing people back and forth. You're going to see a taxi system. There's going to be a highway. This sounds like a fictional movie. It sounds like something out of The Fifth Element where you see all these cars flying around. But that is going to be the reality, and we're going to see that not only in our lifetimes, but in the next few years. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that we should have these things? I know that a lot of people will say it's going to be convenient. You can get in a air taxi, go up and go through and skip all the traffic. Be pretty awesome, but at what cost? What is it going to take away? If these are drones or autonomous drones, it might take away all of the driving jobs. It might get rid of Uber. Could you see Uber completely collapsing like Blockbuster Video or something? It could be. And then we have Kawasaki's rad new unmanned compound helicopter. This thing is just absolutely crazy. It says, Holy Toledo Batman, just take a look at the amazing new drone from Kawasaki. So check this out. Let's see here.
Hey, Adam, scroll down off of that one.
Yep, I realize it's playing the DJI. Hold on. No. There we go. And I'm playing my own audio here. Check this thing out. K-Racer 4. Absolutely insane. Look at that. And it has the propellers on the front too. Our world is literally changing in front of our eyes. These are going to be flying around in a neighborhood near you. Now imagine when these get to the price where anybody can afford them as far as self-travel. And if you pick the autonomous version, and this is something that even Elon Musk talked about, he predicts that these will actually be something that you can have personally. If you pick the autonomous, you won't need a license. You won't even need a driver's license to own one of these and to be able to fly around. They're building the infrastructure in the U.S. and other countries right now. They are having meetings about this and actually basically taking this, and they are making highways in the sky. That is why all of these things are coming down on the hobbyist drone, guys. Anybody who does cinema drone photography, all this, you're going to have to get your licensing, because all of these rules are going to be coming down, and they're coming through. So we know that this is happening. They are actually making out highways in the sky right now. They already have the highway system set up for airplanes. Now on the lower level, we're going to see all of this. So it's crazy times that we live in, and this is changing our world right in front of our eyes. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, just nuts. Keith Saber, and thank you so much for your support. Kelly Joe Zaleski. You guys, it's going to be a different world in a very short period of time. Doctors may be better equipped to handle the latest virus surge. It says the latest surge in the U.S. coronavirus, it says, appears to be much larger than the two previous ones. Okay, do you see how all of the news? This is AP. This is Associated Press. It says, and it is all but certain to get worse, a lot worse. But experts say there are also reasons to think the nation is better able to deal with it this time around. It says we're definitely in a better place when it comes to improved medical tools and knowledge, said William Hanage, a Harvard University infectious disease researcher. And it says, to be sure, the alarming wave of cases across the U.S. looks bigger and is more widespread than the surges that happened in the spring, mainly in the Northeast, and then in the summer, primarily in the Sun Belt. It says newly confirmed infections in the U.S. are running at all-time highs with well over 100,000 people per day, pushing the running total to more than 10 million. It says deaths. So I just want to point this out. It says 100,000, pushing the running total to more than 10 million. A little dot, deaths, dash. Do you see how somebody would, just glancing at this, would take this wrong? Running total to more than 10 million deaths. Oh, wait, there's a period. And then this. Deaths. A lagging indicator, since it takes time for people to get sick and die, are climbing again, reaching an average of more than 930 a day. What's even crazy is that, what it was really crazy to find out. So right now at November, we are actually on par with last year's deaths from all causes, so gunshots, all of that. And one thing that people are saying is, well, there's less of these kinds of accidents because of the lockdowns. There's less car accidents because less people are driving. So hospitals are getting slammed, and unlike the earlier outbreaks, this one is not confined to a region or two. Cases are on the rise in 49 states. So it's coming back. They are telling us straight up that it's coming back. It's going to hit twice as hard and 3 times as hard, and that is going to justify lockdowns. And lockdowns are going to change our life completely this next time around. Every expert and every person in our military group, every person that we know, as far as the 2 people I know that work at grocery stores, they said that they are already working out the passes. And this time, they're going to be much more prepared, and it will be stricter with more. They've worked out more things for this time around. So they are going to have apparently they're going to have a better system in play. So they'll have more people recorded for being able to travel, and they won't have to stop as many people, because the people that do have those passes, they're going to register them on a new system. Apparently, at least with the groceries and other essential jobs. It says the virus is spreading in a largely uncontrolled fashion across the vast majority of the country, said Dr. William Schaffner, an infectious disease expert. So one of my favorite Foogle family members said something, because I said, I talked about Sweden and just how they've done it. They haven't done lockdowns. They did not. Basically, there's no requirements there. And they have had, so far, about 6,000 deaths. And somebody said, well, don't compare Sweden to a country of, 300 million. They only have 10 million people. Well, I was just thinking, we have almost 8 million here in Washington, and our numbers are, we're about 3 million short of where they're at. We only have about, I think, 3,200 less deaths than Sweden, but we have some of the most hardcore mandates ever. Masks, every single business, they won't sell you anything without a mask on. The grocery stores, everywhere that you go, you have to have one. They enforce it. They won't sell you stuff. The managers at all the places, at least around me, they will not sell you something unless you have a face covering. So again, very, very strict. Plus, when we were in actual lockdowns, it was really strict here. It just seems to me that how are our numbers almost as bad as Sweden's, and we had all of those strict things and they didn't. So it just doesn't seem, maybe they should be taking a look at how this thing travels or whatever. Just kind of crazy. It says, well, deaths are still well below the U.S. peak of about 2,200 per day back in April. Some researchers estimate the nation's overall toll will hit about 400,000 by February 1st, up from 240,000 now. See, they always say that the predictions, they've said it all year. Why don't they just wait until after it happens, right? So I don't know if you guys know. Let's see here. How many people? Let's see here. So what do you guys think about this? Just trying to find a quick stat here. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Latin America, Asia, let's see here. So what I thought was interesting is the world deaths of all causes, just by going by births and deaths of all causes, for the whole world is about 50 million, and now it's gone up to about 60. But what we've seen since the year 2000, as it's been going up the number, because also our population is going up at such a crazy rate. So deaths are in the 50 millions. So it just the entire world is going off of this. It says doctors now know how to better treat severe cases, meaning higher percentages of the patients who go into intensive care units are coming out alive. So pretty crazy stuff there. This is the projections. Again, Dex, do you want to explain this chart? You were able to pull up this chart for me.
Yeah, sure, Adam. This is from the IHME, which is the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluations. It's one of the sources that is being used by the experts where they track, whether it's John Hopkins or others. This is just one of them. But what you can see here on this chart, they're tracking about where we are today. But the red line that's really interesting is one of the projections. Obviously, there's a high and a low and in the middle. But on this red line, you see that just into January, February, they're projecting a significant increase in deaths and mortality. So that's, again, it's a projection. Again, it's coming from, it is I guess a trusted source for the medical community, but it's also the information that's coming to us and being told to us. And that's what they're leaning into and saying, hey, look what's going to happen come February. compared to where we are today, right? Because we're at what?
Right now so we're at November 10th. So we're right here.
Yeah, but we're between 200 250, right? Approaching 300.
Yeah.
And they're saying 400, over 400, maybe as high as 500, right? In just 2 months, just by February. That's kind of crazy.
Now, did you see that people are? It says that people are going mentally ill after they get this. Within 90 days, they're having mental illness. And I thought of the Songbird as far as that, the movie, the trailer. If you haven't seen that, so I have to keep going back. What if they know that this is going to turn into a completely different virus? What if right now it's as bad as the it's like the flu, but then it keeps going? That would be another secret that would explain why they're doing all of this, right? I think most people just want a solid explanation that makes sense, and not everybody just kind of goes with the flow. Not everybody listens to everything the media tells them. So, of course, the media or the people in charge, they need something that kind of explains it to everybody. It'd be great if we all united on this kind of thing, but that's not how times are right now. So, I would like if we could have kind of a better explanation for some of this stuff. I guess they over-explain in some ways, but so that red line does not look good. But of course, that's going to be stopped because down at the bottom it says red line is mandates easing, green line is universal face coverings. So you won't go anywhere, which people have pointed out. Of course, the problem with that is that it fundamentally goes against the Constitution. So that's why people are having problems with it. But do we sacrifice that for greater health? Or I guess what they say would be greater health. Well, another thing too, though, is the scientists that have come out and said, people, I guess, what do you say? If you don't get any kind of viruses, then your immune system goes to crap. But we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens in the next few months, and we'll be covering it, and we'll be giving you the official sources for it. Keith and Queen Brat, thank you. God bless our veterans. I love and miss you, Queen Brat. Obviously, Keith, you are on the road again, like Willie Nelson says. And then, of course, we have apps are now putting the parole agent back in your pocket. It says, one of the things we need to think really hard about is the surveillance aspect of electronic monitoring. It says, for decades, parole and probation officers have supervised people on house arrest, parole, and probation remotely with a GPS-enabled ankle bracelet. Now, as pandemic deters person-to-person contact, remote supervision in criminal justice is moving to a new frontier, the smartphone. Isn't that funny? So this could be your prison, right? It says services such as TrackTech and Uptrust mimic more well-known forms of remote supervision like ankle monitoring, but instead are now installed on phones. As a condition of release, these apps monitor juveniles and adults alike on parole, probation, and pretrial release. Parolees can connect with case officers through the text or video. GPS features track whether a parolee has kept consistent schedule, moving only between work and home. Officers can go place geofences around off-limit spaces like liquor store, gun stores, and receive notifications if a parolee gets too close. Now, these geofences that we're talking about, again, this is something we've talked about a lot. They are doing geofence warrants now based on people's phones, and these are people's phones that they didn't sign up for something. They didn't know that they were being tracked. They didn't turn anything on their phone. They didn't have an app that was tracking them. It's something that the government has actually used, and they've been able to access through cell phone companies. And there's all sorts of it, just like the key score thing, the Snowden stuff, all that. That was secret. As far as some of the public stuff that's happened, is say there was somebody that was killed at a 7-Eleven. Well, say you were there 5 minutes before it happened, you drove off, you got your Slurpee, and you left. Well, they can later then ping all the cell phones that were in that area at the time. They can then grab you and say, hey, you were in this area. You're now a suspect. That actually happened, as far as it's already happened. And this is what people are tripping about. Now, as far as this goes, people go, well, why couldn't they just leave their cell phone at home or have somebody take the cell phone? Fingerprint. They put their fingerprint on it and it knows that it's there. They can also do facial recognition. So think about that. That is really scary. And this is what they're using. So your phone, if you got in trouble, could turn into your probation officer. This is like Twilight Zone. This is like Black Mirror. Cell phones are becoming basically home arrest, house arrest for some people. Absolutely nuts. There's a solution to this as well. Just to let you know, this is a perfect place to do it. If you want to go off grid, I would highly recommend you doing this. Put your cell phone or your tablet or any device in these, and you will go instantly off grid. You can't be tracked or traced. I put it in there every time I go anywhere that I don't want tracked or traced. You could turn off your phone or put it in airplane mode, but does that really help? People like John McAfee and Snowden have both said the E911 chip can basically do anything, even if you don't have permission. So, again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/edec. You can get one of these at a huge savings. Just use the code Marfoogle. Even if not, I would highly recommend one. Anyways, this is one of the best brands out there. They actually use these for evidence bags for FBI and other agencies. Again, because the bad guys can't go in there and wipe their stuff after it's in the evidence room. This stops all RF signals in and out. Pretty crazy stuff. John Raxness, Marf and Dex 2024. You know what's really crazy, though, is who knows? Not saying I would ever want to be a president, but I can now. Think about it. There's a lot of... after T-Man became president, basically opens the door for anybody that has never served in office before. Isn't that nuts? And I'm as much of an elect as some people, so who knows? Keith Sabrin, again, thank you so much for your support. Linda Sloat says, I've been watching since I came across your program on FEMA camps and plastic. Let's see here. Plastic coffins. Love you, Adam. Nice or good job. Susan Donahue, again, get prepped up, get prayed up, put on the full armor of God. # Team Humanity. Thank you, Susan. We are Team Humanity. Susan Donahue, thank you so much for your support through all this time. And again, can't say thank you enough. All right, and let's see here. This is all messed up here. Hackler Games, we've got Sapphire. Hey, mid-mofo. It's pretty crazy stuff. Twisted Luck Truth is in the house. Adam for president. Lori Stack. No, thank you. I would probably get assassinated in like 10 minutes. Tony Simply is in the house. Laura Loomer was for the 21st in Florida if she got 40% of the vote. Miker, Clinton body count. No, thanks. I don't want to be part of that. By the way, I think Hillary is an amazing woman. Just honestly, I wish she was running every year, 4 years in a row. I love my family. I love my house. I love everything about my life, by the way. D-Live's mom, you don't have to do that. Missed you, Adam. Hope all is well. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being an awesome person as well. I hope your son's doing well. I haven't talked to him in a couple days. I haven't even seen him in a couple days. Man sits with typewriter on NYC sidewalk to help strangers send letters to friends feeling blue. Before the inventions of text messaging, which makes it super easy to send a note to a friend, and before there were telephones in every home that could connect you instantly with a loved one, there were letters. Sure, you might need to wait a few days or weeks for the postman to deliver it, but the special feeling it contained made it worth the wait. This man, it says, although a letter offers no instant gratification, handwritten correspondence were highly anticipated and savored. Their stationery envelope and stamp were saved as mementos to be read and reread and treasured. In the face of worry over the CV pandemic and all the stress it has placed on New Yorkers, a Brooklyn-based performance artist and English professor Brandon Wolf came up with the idea of receiving the letter-writing tradition as a means to reach out and comfort one another. It says, knowing that people have lost loved ones, jobs, and businesses and given up simple pleasures like hugs from a friend, Wolf began to ponder how to help people make meaningful connections. It says, what interpersonal connection is risky? What are the other ways we can be together? Wolf pondered in an interview. It says, what is a better experience than getting a piece of mail in your mailbox from somebody you didn't expect to hear from? Using a vintage portable typewriter and seated on a folding chair alongside a mailbox, his sign says, free letters for friends feeling blue. Wolf spent several hours a few days a week for 4 weeks typing letters for his Park Slope, Brooklyn neighbors. The 37-year-old New York University teacher dubbed his post-traumatic street performance the Console, short for consolation. So this guy actually sat there and wrote letters for everybody that they could take with them and then send to their friends. What do you think of that? I think it's pretty ingenious. Just a little thing like that, he ended up getting nationwide attention. So smart on his part, and as an artist, I mean, that's pretty genius. How did he get the attention of everybody? Almost everybody covered that too. Well, so we're going to be doing calls. We're going to be switching over to DLive. If you're on DLive, you will not have to go anywhere. On YouTube, if you want to join us, obviously over there it's a little bit freer. It's a lot less, I guess, strict, as we say. And we can actually have callers kind of say a little bit more, because the thing is that, it's not meant to go off or anything. It's still family friendly. But the thing is, here there are words like, the president's name that trigger things, where over there that doesn't happen. It's just dumb. The filter words list is just getting absolutely insane. So thank you guys for being patient with us until we have a permanent Oval Office sitter, which obviously everybody has an opinion on. Again, thank you guys for all supporting tonight. Hi, Wyman. If you guys, again, the show's not over. We're going to do calls. We've got a full lineup of calls. In fact, we have some good ones. So make sure to join us over on DLive. I know that some people don't love it as much as the next, but again, all you have to do is exit out of the app and go back in, and most of the time that fixes any problems that might arise. It doesn't always, so make sure to get over there. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's show, for today's news. We are also going to be putting out some other stuff later. Make sure to check out both channels, Marfoogle News and Marfoogle TV. If you haven't subscribed to Marfoogle News, we have a bigger channel at 162,000 subscribers. So check that out. We're putting out some really awesome content there. Chewy Weather, thank you. Northwest Storm coming Friday. Snafu Saps, thank you for the diamond. Doc Bill, Canadian, thank you. A British nurse has been charged with murdering 8 babies and trying to kill another 10 at a hospital in northwest England. Doc Bill, that's going to be huge. That's probably the most disgusting thing I've heard in years. Awaken Reality, thank you so much. And what a lovely 11-11 there. Tabitha Kelly, I hardly get to catch you guys live. I love and appreciate all you guys do. Well, thank you for showing up to the early show. Again, it's not over. We're going to get pumping and get rocking. I'm going to do a quick shout out to all the YouTube people. And again, DLive, you don't have to go anywhere. Let's get rocking. the killing. Now you're telling on the go back, bring it down. Gonna go now, I hear the sound. Awaken reality, you love, love, bound down. Gonna bring it on the back down. Going all the way on back down. Gonna do it just like we did before. With the Keith and Queen, Brad, Nolly Lord. John Maxley, Susan, Donahue, Linda Slow, and I love you too. Pete Saber and Kelly Josie, the Leslie. Gonna bring that Rihanna. Yes, and aloha from Hawaii, and happy Veterans Day. Hey, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 It was never gonna go back down. Doing it all day, got that sound. I've got that Susan Donahue. Gonna bring that awake alive in the December, girl. Nigga, let's run people. Bring it down like elephant. Special thank you to Mudfassel Gaia. Thank you, Harley Quinn. Thank you, Thomas Safam. Thank you, Susan Donahue. Thank you, Keith Saber. And thank you, Pam. Thank you, Gone Girl 777. All is one is all. Awaken Reality, thank you. 1111, thank you. I appreciate all of you, my friends. Gotta go and love the friends and all alike. Oh, Tabitha Kelly, awaken reality. Got to see what they see in me. Gotta bring it all the way down. They know now they can leave. Gonna bring it all the way. You got to say, John Ratcliffe and the way. It is the way. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you over on D Live.